Climate change can threaten the vital water resources of our communities. There's a lot that we can do to prevent water shortages. Watch these videos to learn what you can do in your community to protect this vital resource.
In some parts of Micronesia and the Pacific Islands, we get a lot of rainwater, but other parts we get very little. Each man, woman, and child needs at least half a gallon to a gallon of water per day just for drinking and cooking. We need even more for bathing, for our gardens, washing our clothes, and cleaning our homes. Over the centuries, our islands have experienced droughts and periods of heavy rains that have caused major water emergencies. As temperatures on the earth get hotter with climate change, there will be changes to our islands, including more extreme weather. Scientists predict that overall there will be more rain in Micronesia and that periods of extreme rain will increase. These may cause sewers and cesspools to overflow, which can contaminate water supplies and pollute our reefs. Also, as sea levels rise and storms become more severe, salt water may get into our wells and water supplies. While we do expect more rain on average, we know from the 2016 El Nino that there will still be droughts, and when they come, they are expected to be more intense. These will threaten water supplies for our island communities and can cause people to become ill from dehydration and disease. While we can't control when the rains or droughts come, there are some things our communities can do to make sure we have clean, abundant water. We can protect our water sources in the natural environment. We can collect, store, and conserve our water, and we can keep our water clean. Protect water in our natural environment. Protect inland vegetation. It provides shade over the ground, keeping it cooler and helping it to hold water. Vegetation also helps to trap soil so our dams and streams don't get clogged. Protect coastal vegetation. It can help to reduce wave action, which decreases the amount of water that gets into our well. Collect, store, and conserve water. Install water tanks. Calculate the amount of water needed for each person in the community. Make sure you have enough tanks to provide for everyone in the case of a severe drought. Put up gutters. Make sure gutters collect water from the entire roof, and use screens to prevent leaves and animal waste from getting into your tanks. Store as much water as possible. Each family should store as much water as they can in drums and containers. Create community storage tanks. Work with neighbors to create larger collection tanks or reservoirs. Be sure to develop community agreements on how the tanks and water will be managed and used. Restore traditional wells. Traditional wells have always been important for our communities. Damaged wells can be restored to help in times of drought. Treat and purify water. Use chlorine in appropriate amount to remove germs from drinking water at least 12 hours before using. 1 teaspoon of chlorine for every 55 gallons of water will kill germs without causing harm to humans. Use low-cost desalination kits. There are several inexpensive desalination kits to collect fresh water, or you can make your own with simple instructions and everyday items. Fix leaky pipes and faucets. Don't waste water. Fix pipes and turn off faucets when not using them. Finally, keep your water clean. Don't pollute. Make sure that trash and waste from humans and animals stay out of our water sources. These can include building stone or cement walls around wells and keeping them covered to prevent salt water or other waste from getting in. Vegetate areas near streams. Roots from plants will trap dirt from washing into water. Keep tanks clean. Tanks should be covered, while roofs and gutters should be cleaned before collecting water. Rainwater collected from roofs and gutters can be contaminated. If available, use a first flush diverter. This stops the first few minutes of rain from entering the tank until the roof or gutter is clean. Also, drain and clean the tank at least every few years.
My name is Carol Maurois, and I work for the University of South Pacific, implementing the European Union Global Climate Change Alliance project in Palau. We are in Ngurtmao State, one of the 3 demo sites for Palau for this EU project. The community members were required to vote on priorities based on the impact of climate change. And the people from Ngurtmao voted for water security as their first priority. The community have had experience with the drought before. We had El Nino in 1998, and then they were worried that if we had another drought, they won't be able to survive that drought. And one of the main reason for that is their major water pipe that comes from the hill that brings the water from the storage, about 30,000 gallons of water. During the flooding, which Palau gets a lot of rain, the major river that the pipes goes over gets really high, and then the water pipe is dislodged, and all that water from the storage is flooding the whole area, including their taro pads. And this was a common occurrence during the heavy rains. And the first thing that they want to do is they wanted to fix that. They said we need to build or develop our adaptation capacity, then we need to fix our water pipe. And so we had planned earlier for 2 tanks, one for school and one for the office. When we worked with the budget, we were only able to provide 1 tank, and they want that tank to be here in the school. They felt that the kids need a continuous supply of water, even during the drought, and clean water to prepare meals for them. This was their priority, to place the tank here at school. And also the school is used as the national typhoon shelter. And so they said if the water is not available during those typhoons, then people can access water with this tank. I think Ngurtmao, we can say Ngurtmao is one of the states that's now secure. Their water security is, I think, is, they develop their capacity, and they feel like they're able to go through some major drought without having to look for other water source.
Now that you've watched the water video, it's time to start planning. In this section, you will discuss your water resources. You will talk about your supply of water in times of drought and your ability to store water. You will identify any problems that may threaten your water supply. Finally, you will choose actions to address these problems. To do this, complete the water section of your workbook. If you don't have a workbook, use the questions at the end of this video to guide your discussions.